Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm the Campaign Marketing Manager here at eLearning Brothers. Today is a really exciting session. We'll be talking about what you get with BizLibrary off-the-shelf courses. This session will be recorded. We will send a copy of it out to everybody who has registered so you can review that at a later date. If you need to leave early, you'll be able to review that, or if you need to share this with those who may hold the purse strings, you can do that as well. If you have questions during the webinar, please use the questions panel. That is part of the GoToWebinar control panel. So please do use that. We'll get to as many of your questions as we can. If there's some questions that we're unable to answer live, we will reach out to you offline and make sure that we get all of the questions answered. All right, so to talk to us today, we have fantastic guests. We have Rachel Grzeskowiak, the Client Marketing Specialist for BizLibrary, and the eLearning Brothers Product Operations Specialist, Josh Bleggi. So thank you both of you for coming. We're excited to hear what you have to say, and without further ado, I'll turn the time over to Josh and Rachel.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. So yeah, we're excited for today's session to introduce BizLibrary as part of eLearning Brothers offerings for courseware. This is a partnership we're really excited about because this enables us to add a really large library of really great content to our already kind of rock star offering that we have available. And so Rachel's going to kind of help explain the finer points of what BizLibrary brings to the eLearning Brothers offering, as well as kind of the success they've had with this content and their various customers and things as well. So I'm going to let Rachel kind of take the reins here for a second, but before we do that, we just wanted to ask a very quick question to you all, and that is, what are your current training needs? And Andrew's going to put up a poll with a multiple choice question for you here to answer that real quick.
All right, so that's right on the screen. You can click directly on the screen to answer. What are you looking for? And do note that you can select more than one. So, click on the ones that are the most accurate for you. And also, if there's something else, there's an other section. Let us know in the questions panel if there's something that we missed. This will help us know, what to focus on during the session. Do you want more of a broad understanding? Do you want specifics? What are your needs? What kind of things are you looking to get answered by BizLibrary and off-the-shelf courses? We'll give you guys just a couple more seconds to vote. Doesn't look like a little more than half have participated, so we'll give you guys just a couple more seconds here. Again, just a reminder that you can click on more than one. All right, 3, 2, last chance, 1. Okay, here's those results. So, and this won't add up to 100. 55% of our audience said that they're looking for quality courses where they don't have a subject matter expert. 39% said they're looking to build an entire curriculum very quickly, which is off-the-shelf courses can definitely help with that. 29%, I'm looking to meet a fast approaching deadline. 26% looking for 1 or 2 courses just to add to the curriculum. And 13% said other, but we don't have any comments in the questions panel, so I don't know what other is. But those can get sent in throughout, and we'll try to get to all of those.
Yeah, the nice thing about all those needs that you have here is BizLibrary suits all those needs really, to provide you with more courses to put in your system, to be able to provide you with full curriculums, things of that nature, and as well as just providing topics that you don't have people to talk to, or you can't find someone that's available for you. So that's really one of the great things about off-the-shelf content is you get all that help that you need right there. So with that being said, I'll let Rachel kind of take over here and talk to us more about BizLibrary.
All right, thanks guys. Hi everybody, so I'm so excited to be here and tell you guys a little bit more about BizLibrary and how we can help you solve your current training needs with off-the-shelf courseware. So I want to begin today by introducing BizLibrary. And we have been in the training industry for over 20 years, so I don't want to give you guys a full history lesson, but just a little bit of background info about us. We were founded by Dean Pache, who's a successful entrepreneur who has over 25 years of experience in the training industry himself. And it's with this combined experience that's actually allowed us over the last 5 years to build up our own in-house production team, which is staffed with our own expert writers and designers. So our in-house production team is what we call the BizLibrary production. So you'll hear me refer to that probably a few times today. And we produce timely, relevant, and engaging content. So Josh, if you want to go back to that first slide real quick. Awesome, thank you so much. So continuing on a little bit, just to give you guys like a brief overview, and then we'll get into those details that Josh shared on the next slide. So our vast content library, it covers a wide variety of business critical topics that I'll go over in detail today. And it really helps empower organizations to solve business challenges and also impact change within their organization. So our library always stays up to date with the latest content due to our content curation process. So our curation process, a little bit about this, is it involves the constant monitoring and also fine-tuning of our content to make sure that we're providing the right breadth and depth of quality content. And we do that by adding new courses monthly, and we also retire content that no longer meets our criteria. So we say that our commitment is to provide this relevant and timely topic. And one way that we do that is our in-house production team is not only proactive, but reactive as well. So a good example of this is in the recent world with COVID, our team was able to produce some timely videos specific to COVID, from as simple as hand washing to PPE, working remotely, cybersecurity, mental health, and also most recently, diversity and inclusion. So we really strive to have this vast content library to meet the needs of training program administrators and also employees. So today I'll go into a little bit more detail. I just wanted to give you guys an overview of what I was going to talk about. And I'll talk more about what makes BizLibrary's content different, a little bit more about our production process, because that also is a big differentiator for BizLibrary, and then also go into detail about those main topic areas that you'll have access to by choosing BizLibrary's content. And Josh will also be able to give you guys a demo and a little sneak peek. So Josh, if you want to go ahead and switch over to the next slide. Awesome, thank you. So let's talk about what's the BizLibrary difference. So not only do we have this robust collection of over 2,500 courses available, but it's relevant and it's skill specific. So we definitely owe this to our in-house production studio, which I mentioned is BizLibrary Productions. And our in-house production studio includes our team of writers, editors, and designers, and that allows us to work together to deliver that quickly relevant content to learners and really react to the ever-changing needs of today's workforce. And our BizLibrary content is strategically designed to help organizations see an increased learning retention and also better application of training on the job. So when we say that our content is high quality, we really take that seriously, and there's a few ways that we live up to this. So the first is we really believe that professional delivery of the content makes a difference, which is why we use on-screen talent. We also regularly work with subject matter experts, and we involve legal if needed. So for those of you who answered the poll saying you were looking for content because you don't have any SMEs, we answer that for you. We regularly work with SMEs, and we like to diversify the delivery of our content. So a mix of the on-screen talent and also the SMEs to give diversity and just variety for our learners. So that way it's not always the same type of delivery. This also helps keep it engaging. So as I briefly mentioned, we produce new content monthly. Our in-house production team is always working hard to produce that timely content. And you might be wondering, where do we get the ideas for what new content are we going to produce? So it comes from a few different areas. So number one, new content comes from new additions come from hot or already highly utilized topic areas. So topic areas that are already really popular with learners, then we can also branch off of that and continuously produce more content since we know it's popular and it really resonates with the learners. The next is we also produce new content when we need to add important updates to existing content. So for example, if there's changes in compliance standards, then we'll produce new content for that. And then lastly, we also respond to client requests. So we often hear requests from users that they would like some content in a specific topic area or a course that goes over a certain subject. So we respond to those and we add those to our roadmap. So our content is always fresh, keep saying timely, fresh, relevant. So it's definitely reflected in our feedback. So all of our content is rated on a 5-star scale, and we have an average 4-star rating on our content. So you can tell that the learners are actually enjoying the content that they are receiving. And as I mentioned, our content is going through continuous curation. So our team of content experts proactively curates content on a monthly basis, which means adding new and also retiring old, outdated, or less utilized content. And this is really what helps keep our collection fresh and up to date. And we also have a rolling 90-day retirement process, which I'll go into a little bit more criteria on why we retire certain courses. But I wanted to hand it over to you, Josh, if you wanted to just briefly talk about how users would handle retirements if they are using either their LMS or eLearning Brothers Knowledge Link LMS.
Sure, yeah, I can talk about that for a minute here. So this retirement process is kind of one of the really cool parts about this, keeping this fresh and timely for your learners. So what happens is you'll receive an email 90 days in advance saying these are the topics that are going to be retired. So that way you can be kind of prepared for that to happen, and we'll keep reminding you as well that those retirements are coming up. And then once those hit, you'll still want to keep the the score wrapper file in your LMS, so that way any scoring is maintained. But you'll just want to be able to hide that from them. And so if you're using Knowledge Link, we'll do that for you. We'll hide that from all your learners, so we'll keep it there. But so all your data is still preserved, but the learners won't be able to access it at that point because the link will become dead at that point anyways. But if you're doing it for yourself, you'll want to make sure to hide that from your learners as well. So it's a really nice process because you're given plenty of time in advance to know that it's coming, so that if you need it maybe to change your curriculum a little bit because you're using a particular module in there, you're able to kind of make that adjustment and have plenty of time to do that. But it also just keeps things up to date, which is really a powerful thing, especially as our world continues to change and adapt. Like Rachel was mentioning, BizLibrary's content is adapted based off of current trends and needs. And so as the world changes, so does the content that you need. And with BizLibrary, that stays consistently up to date for you. So that's a fantastic part of this offering.
Awesome, thank you. Would you like to go to the next slide? And I'll go into more detail about what really is this criteria that we need to retire our content. So this is really important because we have a thorough process. So the first is if the content is over 4 years old, then it will go into retirement. And this really just helps support our initiative to make sure that the content available is timely and fresh. So another thing is if the content just looks old, then your learners are going to notice that. And that can cause disengagement. So think about all of the content that we actually consume in our personal lives on a daily basis on social media and YouTube. So by making sure that our content is up to date and really resonates with the audience, it helps remind users of what they're consuming in their personal lives, which can help increase utilization. So as I mentioned, our content is rated. So if content is poorly rated, then we will then retire. And we also take note of content that just isn't popular with learners. So if utilization is low, then it's probably related to some of the things I've already talked about, and we will then retire knowing it's not too popular with the audience. So our content not only has ratings, but we also allow for user comments. So if we're receiving feedback that isn't reflective of what our goal was producing the content, then we will notice that. So if somebody comments and says, this course isn't helpful, or you forgot to mention this law, or anything else like that, then our in-house production team regularly reviews and also takes action on these comments. So then the content is then retired, and then new content can be produced that really solves those needs and really hits those pain points that we saw in the comments. And then lastly, content is retired if there is newer content available. So that will deem it outdated if there's new information or new laws. And also if there is the same type of content in the library that's available with the same subject, like the same topics, we will just go ahead and retire that older one just to make sure the newest content is available for the learners to be viewing. And you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So now that you guys have an understanding of what our retirement process is like, I just want to continue on talking about what makes BizLibrary's content different. So number one, our content integrates seamlessly with Knowledge Link, which is eLearning Brothers LMS, or any platform that accepts AICC or SCORM standards. So that's very important to note. And number one, our content is mobile responsive. So any device such as your desktop, tablet, or your mobile phone, our content will work on. And this is just another way that we support today's modern learner. And this really just goes back to how each learner has their own preferences, and now they're not limited and they have options. So it's really good to have a nice variety of not only the formats that you're delivering, but for people to access it too, because everybody's day-to-day is different. So our content library also has a lot of soft skills available, which is great, and it supports personal and professional development. So now if you can access content on your mobile phone, if you want to take some content in the line of a grocery store, you definitely could do that. And I say that because I've actually heard that before. So just a point to throw out there for you guys. So the next reason that makes BizLibrary different, which is one of my favorites to talk about here, is our Content Concierge service. So Content Concierge is a free service that comes along with BizLibrary's content. So what this is we have over 2,500 courses available. That's a lot. And let's say you're trying to create a new manager development program and you just don't know which courses you should include, you're sorting through, that can be really timely. But with Content Concierge, what you can do is you can leverage our in-house content experts, and we can quickly map competencies to your subject that you're trying to build a training program around. So we can pick out 10 great courses for you to build in your new manager development program, and we're able to do that in a timely manner, so it saves you a lot of time. And it also works for if you are trying, like I said, map to core competencies, or even if you want to map content to your core values. You leverage our in-house content experts. That is what we're here for. So the best way for you to do that is just to contact your eLearning Brothers representative, and they will then facilitate the request over to BizLibrary. It's a really easy process for you guys. And next, our content has closed captions on 95% of the library. And we also offer localized content. So the languages we offer are Spanish, German, French, and Japanese.
I think, Rachel, so I want to add a quick point here too. You talk about closed captioning there. One of the cool things when BizLibrary was introduced to us that they mentioned was that they've worked with to make these courses all kind of compliant with ADA standards. So if you're looking for 508 compliance, accessibility is an important factor in your courses, then BizLibrary provides that for you. They've thought about that as they've built these courses as well, which is really a cool thing, because at eLearning Brothers, that's something that we're really focused on with our templates and other assets, is to make sure that we're thinking about all learners, not just those that are, that don't have any disabilities or things. We want to make sure that everybody's able to have access to that, and BizLibrary also offers that with their courses, which is something I've always thought was fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Josh, will you go ahead and advance to the next slide? Perfect. Okay, so just kind of continuing with more about what makes BizLibrary different. So our content is current. You've heard me say timely, relevant, fresh. So our content has an average life of 4 years or fewer. And our content is relevant. We have over 2,500 courses that is everything you and both your learners need on core topics and issues. So we strive to have an all-encompassing library that includes everything that your organization needs to deliver a successful learning program to help you maintain your competitive advantage and also solve common business challenges. So the next point, which I'll just briefly touch on here because Josh is going to show part of this in the demo, we do have interactive content. And so what that means briefly is it's not just a person on screen reading a script. You can go through the course and then it's done. So we actually have interactions that get the learners to engage with the content through multiple choice questions and poll questions. So like I said, Josh is going to show you a little sneak peek of this on his demo. So just hang tight and we'll get to more info on that. Next, as I keep saying,
quickly, I'm sorry to interrupt really quickly. I do want to point out there is a handouts section inside the GoToWebinar control panel, and there is a product sheet in there that you can download and take a look at. And it gives you a general overview of some of the courses that are available. It's kind of like a catalog, but it's not a very in-depth catalog. But it does show you, the business skills, HR compliance, sales service, and some of the stuff that's underneath that. So we've had a couple questions wondering where they can get a catalog and start looking through the basic content. So while this is a product list, a course list, if you would like to get more in-depth guide of the catalog, we don't have one for you right now. You're welcome to reach out to any eLearning Brothers representative by email or phone. We'll put that up at the end of the session as well, where you can get the information that you need for that.
Perfect. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, that handout is a great resource. It goes into detail about the topics and subtopics that we offer. So kind of continuing on with BizLibrary's content, it's engaging, and we really take this part seriously because we want the content to be lively and something that's visually appealing to learners. We want them to keep their attention on the screen, and we want it to be something that they enjoy. So actually, this is one of our biggest compliments we regularly receive on our content, is that learners enjoy taking the content. And I think this is really due to the breadth and depth of our content library, because we not only have a variety of formats, but just the different styles, the way it's delivered, all of those pieces are what make BizLibrary's content engaging. And lastly, the last point I want to talk about before we get to Josh's demo is BizLibrary's content is optimized for learning. So what that means is we have a variety of formats. Number one, we have micro learning format, which is videos that are 4 to 6 minutes in length. So they are short videos, and they are really great because they really fit in today's workforce and meets the needs of today's learners with their busy schedules and all sorts of industries. So we have the micro learning format, which is one of our biggest compliments as well, other than having engaging content. Users love how the content doesn't take up too much time of their day, but they're still absorbing a lot of important information that they can then go and apply it on the job. And our content also comes with support materials to help extend this learning process and increase learning retention. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Josh, and he is going to show you guys a quick demo.
Great, thanks, Rachel. Andrew, while I'm pulling this up, do we have any questions from the audience that we can answer for?
I think there's one question that I think you're about to answer.
Okay.
Are all of these courses video-based? Are they 100% video-based?
I believe they are, Rachel. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
All right, that's it for now.
Okay, great. We'll have more time for questions as they go. Just keep putting those in the questions panel, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. So I'm going to show you how these courses look, we're going to show inside Knowledge Link, which is our LMS. They really play nicely with any LMS that's out there, as far as we've experienced as well. And so for us, we are going to have all these courses loaded into Knowledge Link. So if you want to purchase that as well, that's a great option, because that allows you, again, like I mentioned earlier, we control that retirement process for you. We make sure new content gets added monthly. You don't have to do any manual process to do that in your own system, which is the great part about using Knowledge Link for hosting that. It also plays quite nicely in here, and scores quite nicely as well, to give you the data that you're looking for as far as learner engagement and things go here. So for us, we've set up a small demo site here, which if you contact an eLearning Brothers representative, you can get access to this for a 2-week period to check it out for yourself. But we've picked a sampling of courses from BizLibrary that fit into the 6 topic areas that we'll go over in a little bit more depth later on. But these were ones that we felt were more recent and timely, as well as highly rated. It was just kind of the 2 criteria that we used for curating this into our own playlists here. And that's just kind of the way you could take that and use it in your own LMS. You could just look at ratings and when things were produced, because you'll receive all that information as well when you receive these courses. So you can tell, okay, this one's 3 years old, this one's just 6 months old. Which one do you want to use in your program? And so we've curated that in and just created different playlists for the different categories. But then one of the beautiful things, like Rachel was talking about with her content concierge service and things, is this ability to curate these all into different playlists based off of a need that you might have. And so we've added 3 of these in here for people to look at and to kind of see how this content can be used. And we picked ones again that we felt were very either important to organizations or important to just the time that we live in. So diversity and inclusion, which is a big topic right now. We've included that one here so people can see how to build their own diversity and inclusion program using BizLibrary content. And they all come with these nice thumbnails, so you can see what those look like in your system to visually represent each course. And so I'm going to show what one of these looks like. Andrew, I'm not sure that my audio shares. Is that correct?
No, they will not hear the audio. However, if you just speak it, we'll hear you. If you want to be the voice of the old audio. Well, if you crank your volume up, it might pick something up in the microphone, but they won't hear it natively.
Okay, so if you, so I'm going to show one of these. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear the audio. Well, you might be able to. We'll do our best here, but just know that if you want to hear what one of these sounds like, you can go contact us, or eLearning Brothers representative, and Zoom allows you to share audio over that. So they'll be able to get you on a Zoom call and show you what this kind of what these narrators and things sound like. They're all very diverse presenters, which is something that's really cool about this too, is it's not the same. They didn't use the same person for all of their courses. So I'm going to just show you what one of these looks like so you can see a small example of the interactivity, which Rachel will talk about here in more detail here in a moment. But you see there's a poll question here that's asking, am I a valuable employee? Do I feel valued by my organization? So I'm going to answer how I feel right now, and I strongly agree with this. I feel valued by my company. I love it here at eLearning Brothers. So now we're going to go back to the course. Can't really get the materials. Since we can't hear this, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the audio here really quick. But you have these other materials down here that are provided with each of the courses. So there's handout, there's transcripts, which can be important for like translation or for compliance review. So these are here for everyone that is taking these courses. They also give you a nice little outline of what content is coming, so the interactivity that's coming. You'll also maybe notice as I was speaking here, after about a minute of these being presented, the quiz pops up. And so they can go ahead and take this at any point. They still need to, in order to finish out the course, at least in Knowledge Link, they do have to get all the way to the end. the video for it to score. But here, at least they're able to take the quiz, which are multiple choice, multiple select questions, pretty typical of what you see of anything, and then they can hit grade quiz or close it. And I believe there's an 80% passing criteria. Is that correct, Rachel?
Yes, you're correct, 80%.
Yeah. And so then they have to continue on, and they do have to complete the course in order for the scoring to be complete, which is pretty nice. And you'll notice, so these come as a SCORM wrapper to bring that into your LMS. They'll then call out to the videos which are hosted on BizLibrary servers to be able to pull those in, so you don't have to worry about managing huge file sizes, which is also the really nice thing. I think when we put them into Knowledge Link, I think it was all about like 250 megabytes or so. It's really a small. If you're worried about server space, it's really a small portion that it's taking up. But yeah, so that's my demo to show you, and so I'm going to go back to our presentation here real quick. Andrew, are there any?
You're jumping back. Yeah, we got a couple questions. One, does it force them to take the quiz before they continue on the video?
So when it paused the video for them to take the quiz? No, I could have continued on from there without taking the quiz. But
okay.
In order to have completion scored in there, they would have to complete the video and the quiz and pass it for the 80%.
Okay, so they can skip it, but they can't achieve completion.
Right.
Another question is, the SCORM package that's produced, is it editable if we need to change something to match our themes or anything like that?
You broke up there a little bit for me, Andrew.
Sorry. Can you edit the SCORM package or anything around it to make it so that the color scheme matches your organization, to rebrand it all like you can with other off-the-shelf courses?
No, you can't. What you see there is what you get. There's not really any customization that can happen. So.
Okay. And then for the video interface, is that BizLibraries? Is the video interface editable? It didn't look like that was included. It didn't look like that was a part of Knowledge Link's video player, the LMS.
No, that's part of the SCORM files. That's coming in from BizLibrary. That's what they include in their files.
Okay, so that's part of what's not editable. So that's how they're going to look. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. That's all the questions.
Okay. Great. So Rachel, I'm going to turn back over to you to talk a little more about the interactive video lessons.
All right. So you guys got to see a little bit of the interactions that are included, but I do want to explain the other types of interactions and engagements that can happen throughout a course. So when I say interactive, the things that I am referring to are either a multiple choice question, a true and false question, poll questions, or web links. Those are links that learners can navigate to find out more information on the subject. So it can be a mix of those throughout a course. And at the end, like you saw, they could still have a quiz. So the point of having these interactions is having each engagement point as just another area to really bring the learner back in and keep them engaged with the subject. And we want them to participate with learning and really retain the information that they are trying to learn during their course or lesson. So the main benefits of having these interactive video lessons are it promotes active learning, as I mentioned, with each engagement point being another chance to interact with the learning process. And also it helps increase learning retention. So think about it, you're taking a course and then you get, a multiple choice question halfway through, and it's a nice knowledge check for yourself to see if you're paying attention, if you're understanding the material, maybe you need to go back or take more courses. So it's a really great way to bring learning retention, really drive it home. And then also it can help increase the ROI of your training program because learners are actively engaging and they are able to apply what they've learned on the job better. I think we have another poll question coming up for you guys. If Andrew wants to go ahead and launch that.
All right, so again, you can click right on the screen and you can select multiples if you'd like. So what content topic areas are most important to your organization right now? Are they HR compliance ones, business skills, sales and service, leadership and management, workplace safety. Maybe there's others. If there's some that are really, really important to you that isn't on this list, please use the questions panel and let us know. We'd love to know, where the needs are so we can help you become an e-learning rock star with quality courses. So give you guys a couple more seconds to participate in this poll. Looks like about half of you have participated. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds. And don't forget, you can select more than one. Maybe you're looking for sales and service and HR compliance. All right, I'll go ahead and close this out and share the results. So the one that is the most popular, most needed right now is leadership and management. That's 83%. Next is business skills, 72%. And then we've got workplace safety and sales and service tied at 45%, and then 38% HR compliance. And then as I'm looking at the ones that are being added in, people need help with Microsoft Suite content, with marketing. Marketing for nonprofits is another one. So yeah, those are some of the courses our audience is looking for.
Interesting. Okay.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to get to my next slide then and tell you guys more about the topic areas. So this will be the slide that you guys are probably waiting for, a little bit more detail on what is included in our content. So as I've mentioned, and you probably know by now, we have over 2,500 courses available to you. And what we do is we structure it and break it down into 6 main topic areas. So most of those were on that poll that you guys answered just a few seconds ago. So what I want to do here is I want to share some subtopics that fall underneath each of these topic areas. And it's not a comprehensive list. I'm just going to highlight just a few. So if you're not hearing something that you're interested in, please follow up with your eLearning Brothers representative, because like I said, this isn't comprehensive, just an overview. So the first one, we'll go ahead and get started with business skills. And some topic areas that fall under this are personal and career development, communication, project management, teamwork and collaboration, time management and productivity, and ethics. So a wide variety of courses available under business skills that can be used across many industries. Next, we have workplace safety. So some topic areas underneath that are general safety, toxic and hazardous materials, HAZWOPER, which is hazardous waste operations and emergency response. We have construction ergonomics, first aid, cold and heat stress, fire protection, and also transportation. We've got sales and service with customer service and distance selling. And leadership and management for all of you who are interested in this topic. We've got new manager, performance, coaching and appraisals, engagement and motivation, and delegation. Also, I think that you can see some overlap here. If you're interested in leadership and management, then some of those business skills can be applicable for you too, like ethics and communication. Next, we have HR compliance with anti-harassment, HR law, training and onboarding, diversity and respect, HIPAA, and mentoring programs. And then lastly, we have information technology, which includes digital fluency and also cybersecurity for your learners, for the policies that they're having to understand for the companies. So again, if you have a specific question about any of these topics, go ahead and contact your eLearning Brothers representative. But I do want to share on my next slide some of our most popular content that we have launched, that learners have launched in the last 12 months. So these courses that you see here are our most utilized courses in the last 12 months. And our content is about 50-50 elective and prescribed. So I think you can see that reflect in what's most utilized and most popular here. So a lot of our elective content is in our soft skills library. And then a lot of our prescribed content is things like HR compliance. So you can see some of the content that reflects the new needs of the workforce today, like working remotely, re-entry during COVID-19, diversity, and cybersecurity. And then those like ever popular required training that is highly utilized, which is HIPAA, ethics, improving your workplace communication, culture of civility, and also bloodborne pathogens. So we have a nice mix here, but I just wanted to give you guys like a little sneak peek, and you can see what some of these thumbnails look like too, what they'll look like in your system. And Josh, you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So I kind of want to wrap up here today and talk about how our skill-specific and wide variety of content is designed to benefit all organizations of sizes and industries. And I really want to talk about how off-the-shelf content can benefit your organization in several ways. So the first is it helps build a culture of learning. So by having a wide variety of courses available for your learners outside of maybe your initial needs, so maybe you think you just need off-the-shelf content for HR compliance, now you actually have these additional courses that'll help your employees along their development journey. So this helps build that culture of learning where employees and managers are always in that growth mindset and using training as a tool to overcome business challenges. And this can also help create that agile workforce, which we all know is very important. And we've seen this year that having to be flexible and change in a moment's notice, like working remotely, it's great to have an agile workforce who is ready and can embrace those changes. And like I mentioned, we have a huge soft skills library. So we support personal and professional growth. And by having the variety of content available in formats and topics, you can improve your employee engagement. So because every industry has different needs and our content has different skills to choose from, I wanted to highlight a few use cases, how you can tie it tightly to your organization. So while soft skills are very applicable for many, you can really tie it back down to your specific needs. So I have just a few examples here. So if anybody in the audience here is in the retail industry, you know that it's extremely fast paced and store managers are always trying to balance many things like upskilling their employees hand in hand with doing their daily store operations and trying to train new management, all while trying to find time for training. So where BizLibrary comes in is the micro-learning content is quick and short, and it can really fit into the needs of your busy schedule. And also you can benefit from courses like customer service, communication, and maybe people management. So the next industry that I wanted to talk about is construction. So if any of you guys are in construction, then this part is for you. So when it comes to addressing business challenges in the construction industry, many people stop at safety training or compliance training, but there's definitely additional challenges that you can address with an online learning program. So with access to BizLibrary's content, now you can deliver both your safety training and now you can develop your people, such as your new managers. And having the access to our large library can help you do so with skills like communication, creativity, and problem solving. And then lastly, the last industry that I wanted to highlight, just to keep showing examples how you can really tie it back to your organization, is the hospitality industry. So in hospitality industry, organizational reputation often lies in the customer experience. So we know that customer service is not only a business challenge, but it's a top training priority for those in this industry. So areas that you can focus on using BizLibrary's content are customer service, complex problem solving, judgment and decision making, and so much more. And also by providing these growth opportunities for your employees and investing in their development, you can help reduce employee turnover, and that is applicable for many organizations. When you invest in your employees, they will be happier with their opportunities to grow and develop within your organization. So I just wanted to highlight just a few examples because I know it can seem like this is such a large library, and I wanted you guys to be able to visualize how you can tie it back to your organization. And as I said, BizLibrary's content is industry agnostic, but it's skill specific. So our content has a wide variety of items that you guys can choose from to really solve your needs. So that's all I have on my slides, Josh. I can go ahead and hand it over to you to wrap us up for the day.
Great, thanks, Rachel. We appreciate your time today and sharing that with everyone. So this kind of gave you a big, a nice overview of everything. If you want to dig in more and talk more about your training needs, go ahead and schedule an appointment with one of our representatives here at eLearning Brothers to discuss not just BizLibrary, but any other training needs that you might have. They can also give you a personalized walkthrough of all these courses, or some of these courses, so you can see what they're like. And again, there's demo access available for those that would like to experience that themselves, and knowledge link. Before we close out here today, Andrew, is there any other questions that?
Yes, we have many questions. And I just want to remind everybody, if you don't know who your rep is here at eLearning Brothers, you can give that number a call down at the bottom, 801-854-5495, and we can connect you with someone who can help you. You can also send an email to info@elearningbrothers.com. And again, we can connect you with someone that can help you. Okay, do you have harassment courses specific to state compliance? Like California has additional harassment compliance than other states.
We do have some state-specific harassment courses, yes.
Okay, excellent. Is there an average length of each video? Are they all less than 10 minutes, some longer, some shorter? What were you looking at there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as I mentioned, we do have a mix of formats. So the average length of the micro-learning content is between 4 and 6 minutes. And then it does range to more in-depth courses as well, which can be longer than that. So, maybe 15 minutes or so. So average is a little difficult because we have so many varieties. So we just have a lot of different options and a lot of different times for, depending on the content that you're looking for too. So I would say a lot of the soft skills, those are micro-learning content, which is the 4 to 6 minutes. So big variety there.
Sure. Excellent. There's a couple questions that are very specific to individual needs, especially as purchasing goes. And for those, I'm going to direct you again to a rep. You can send an email, info@elearningbrothers.com, with your question. We'll try to get as many of your questions answered as we can, and they'll be better equipped to answer you as well. There's a question: does eLearning Brothers do contract work for custom course creation? Yes, we absolutely do. It's not part of this off the shelf, but we will build custom courses for you. We have a phenomenal e-learning development team that is award-winning, and we would be happy to connect you with them. We'll get you a link there in the chat. And then the last question that I'm seeing that we'll take for the day: do these courses have to be purchased in bundles, or is there an a la carte option?
So the way that we're selling it right now is it's all you can eat, so you get access to everything. You can do the a la carte option, and we can work with you on that, on the pricing for what that would look like if there's only you only need a specific set of courses for, say, an HR compliance, course, or for diversity inclusion, whatever your need might be. We can work that out, but our basic offering here is just, you get access to all 2,500 courses in your LMS or ours, basically.
Fantastic. And just another reminder, you can download through the handouts there the product sheet. So we'll leave this session up for a little bit longer, just so that you guys can access that as you need it. Thanks again, Rachel and Josh. This has been very, very useful, very informative. Well, I think we'll be able to answer most people's questions personally, one-on-one. So please give us a call or send an email to info@elearningbrothers.com. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks. Bye.